5 signs you should leave a man. Should you stay or should you go? In this video, you will discover how to break out of the cycle of questioning yourself, doubting yourself, second guessing, and sitting on the fence in the gray zone, just not being able to move forward one way or another. Instead, you will actually learn how to take confident action that helps you to be happy in your dating and romantic relationship life. And if you are ready to understand men more and create a happy, loving relationship, then pop right below with "I am ready" into the comment section. I'm, of course, your host, Antia, founder and creator of the Magnetize Your Man method. And look, this is the channel where we magnetize your man so that the man you want not only desires you, but also pursues you forever. Now, of course, if you like anything in this video, my background, what I wear, or of course the content that I share, then hey, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe as well for more juicy videos coming your way. And of course, sharing is caring, so don't forget to also let your girlfriends know, hello, this is a good one for you to watch, so I don't have to listen to the same story over and over again. Now, I highly recommend listening for a special bonus secret in this video on the for sure sign that he does not value you, and it is indeed time to walk out. So let's go ahead and dive right into the 5 signs that you should leave a man. Number 5 is, and this is actually too contradictory expectation, is actually apathy. Now, actually, the opposite of love is not hate. The opposite of love is apathy. You heard that right. So if you are arguing, if you have fights, if you have, right, you care for each other, there is still something there that we can work with. There's still charge there. There is life force energy there. There's intensity there. There's a lot that we can work with, right? There's a lot of momentum still in your relationship, and you still care authentically for each other. However, when there's apathy, that really means the stonewalling has taken place, the condescension has taken place, everything has taken place. And Gottman refers to that to the 4 horsemen, right? Which is, of course, the horsemen of death of the relationship. So instead, you actually want to really look at, wow, is it just kind of like we're just kind of roommates? We're like, whatever, right? I don't really have an opinion one way or another. Like nothing is moving inside of you anymore. Nothing is inspiring about the sky. Nothing motivates you anymore. You don't really care. Then look, this is a for sure sign that is definitely sign to walk out. Now, number 4, a little different. That is actually when he does disrespect you. Now, I talk a lot on this channel about how to make a man respect you for a reason. It is so important for a woman to continue to flourish and to feel loved and cherished and supported and also feel respected. So if you have actually experienced that he disrespects you, that he makes fun of you in front of his friends, right? If that he makes condescending jokes where he seems to be always in a superior position while you end up in the inferior. Now, this is a for sure sign. This is not sustainable. This man does not respect you. And you will actually continue to be emotionally abused because, condescension is really, in my opinion, emotional abuse. And one of the reasons why I walked out of a dating situation that I was in, like, gosh, what was that, like 14, 15 years ago? More like 24, 25 years ago, because he was constantly making fun of me in front of his friends. And he thought it was funny. And I'm like, there's actually nothing funny about this, right? Because that's really the first sign of abuse. And we'll go into that in a moment as well. But of course, before we do that, comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Which country or state are you actually watching from? All right. So number 3 is abuse of any kind. So, and I really want to stress any, because what oftentimes happens is that women end up in emotionally such abusive and toxic relationships, but they say, hey, at least he doesn't beat me up. At least he doesn't abuse me physically, at least, okay, hold on a second, girlfriend. Abuse is abuse. Just because he doesn't hit you in the face, just because he doesn't take like a baseball bat to your head, right? Does not mean that he's not abusing you psychologically, emotionally, right? If he plays mind games, right? If he shifts his opinions all the time, if he plays with your emotions, if he goes into denial, right? And says, I never said that. Are you crazy? Like, are you making this up? I think you need to see a psychologist. I think you need to see a therapist, right? Like, I think you're watching too many bad movies, whatever it is, right? Those are all those signs of like abuse, because he doesn't respect you, he doesn't listen to you, and certainly he does not take you seriously. He does not protect you. You really want to look for in a relationship, do you feel protected? Now, this may not always the case always, right? Because, we have also our parts inside of ourselves that, of course, get triggers depending on our own childhood patterns. And of course, there's something called projection, where we sometimes project something onto another person that we think is happening, but it's actually not happening. That's not what I'm talking about, right? That, of course, happens here or there. But I'm saying overall, do you feel safe in the relationship? Do you feel protected in the relationship? That's going to give you a for sure sign if you should stay or you should go. Now, we also talk about this more in my free Magnetize Your Man Facebook group. So hop on over mymfbgroup.com and join the party. We're over 6,000 women in there having a ball, having a party. Now, number 2 is consistent dishonesty. Now, I'm saying consistent because you know how it is in life, right? Sometimes we're like sharing a white lie, and that's definitely not okay. And also somebody can lie, but actually then own up to it and change their behavior, right? Because maybe they lied because they were afraid of the consequences, and maybe they didn't want to rock the boat. Maybe they wanted to accommodate you, whatever the case may be, but they were scared. And if they actually acknowledge that and they take action accordingly, like there is a chance to actually recover the relationship. Now, what I'm talking about here is the consistent dishonesty. Now, if you notice that your boyfriend is constantly hiding his phone or turning it upside down, or just he's like gone certain times of the day or of the week, and you just can't explain where he is. Or every time when you hear something from a friend report, it's really interesting because it kind of contradicts what he just told you, right? So you just feel like there's something off. That's what I'm talking about. If you feel like, gosh, I don't really trust this guy, right? Because he lied so many times to me and in so many different ways. Was he incongruent and dishonest? That is a for sure sign, because look, if you don't trust a man anymore, then what ends up happening is, for one, you have a really hard time forgiving him because there's constantly like a repeat of breaking that trust. But also, number 2, you will actually see things where there's nothing, but you can't trust him anymore. You can see when can you step outside of the gray zone, right? Like, so you're going to see only black or only white, and you're not going to allow yourself to consider anything else because he has lied to you just too many times. Now, this is really then time to walk out, because a betrayed trust is really hard to recover, because you will now always look for the red flags. And then what happens is, over time, that your partner usually, he actually responds to those unconscious expectations that we're sending out. So the more you expect him to be dishonest and the more you expect him to betray your trust again, eventually he will do it again, because he will feel exhausted proving to you that he's not doing it. And so this is why, usually when this happens consistently, there's a character flaw also inside of himself, and you can't really trust him. You can't really rely on him. You can't really feel supported by him. Now, if you're liking this content, then make sure to like, share, and subscribe for future great videos like this, and also let us know in the comment section that you did subscribe so we can welcome you into the family. Speaking of which, number one, like a sign that you should walk is like your friends and your family, they're warning you. Look, there's a saying, right, that our friends, our family, they see things first. Now, I remember when I started dating, and my friends, they would know before I knew it that I would be made for this guy, and we started dating and all the things, right? And he was interested, and I was interested, and all the things. So families and friends, they see things ahead of time because oftentimes they're much more objective. Now, that's not always the case, right? Depending on if you have a narcissistic family member and so on. But in general, especially if friends and family agree and they're like, are you sure this is the right guy for you? Are you sure, like, is he really respecting you? Does he really value you, right? Like, we don't really like him. He's not really looking us in the eye. He's not really doing this and that and the other. And you hear that consistently. That should be a sign for you that it's probably time to leave because there's something where he's deceiving you. You can't see it. You can't see it from the outside in. The fish doesn't know that it's wet. That's what my husband always says, right? So that would be also for sure a sign where I would like look twice, if not 3 times, and make a decision that is really in alignment with building my own confidence versus giving him the benefit of the doubt. Now, before I share my bonus secret, comment below, what do you think is this sign that it's time for you to walk? And now this one is like a little bit more complicated. The bonus, lose yourself to make him happy, right? If you feel like you actually have to violate your own values, right? You have to deny your own values in order for him to be happy. That's also never going to work, right? Because you have to become untrue to yourself. You have to become inauthentic. You have to start betraying yourself, holding yourself back for him to be happy, right? So what that actually means is that you have external happiness, but internal unhappiness, right? You have external peace and internal war. So that's the thing. And by the way, the internal war is like forever, right? But the external peace oftentimes is actually very short term and can always change because there's so many variables in life. We're moving, we're having kids, we're shifting careers. There's so many things going on. Also, what happens in extended family. So when you lose yourself, the problem is you can't trust yourself anymore, right? So it's really important to trust yourself, that you can rely on yourself, that you in what I call the queen integrity. Now, of course, if you want to learn more about that, how to step into your queen integrity, how to actually or recover it, right? And take our free Magnetize Your Man quiz at mymquiz.com. And if you haven't watched our next video already, when a man deeply loves you, he will start saying these 5 things. Click that link right there, and I will see you there. Lots of love, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.